Yesterday, the world lost a truly remarkable soul. The news of Graham Greene's passing has left a profound sense of loss, not just among those who knew him personally, but for countless fans and admirers around the globe. His absence is felt deeply, as if a guiding light in the world of film and storytelling has suddenly gone out. Graham Greene, whose presence on screen was as powerful as it was gentle, passed away at 73. His warmth and wisdom radiated through every role, making him a beloved figure both on and off the screen. His passing leaves a silence in storytelling, a space once filled with his talent and unforgettable spirit. The stage feels emptier now, the stories a little quieter, as we remember the man who brought so many characters to life. Greene wasn't just acting, he shared a piece of his heart with every role. Each performance was a testament to his dedication, his empathy, and his deep understanding of the human experience. He was a pioneer, opening doors for so many who came after him. Greene's career paved the way for Indigenous actors and storytellers, inspiring a new generation to dream bigger and reach further. Greene showed us the depth of Indigenous stories with dignity long overdue on our screens. He brought authenticity and respect to every character, challenging stereotypes and changing perceptions with every performance. His performances were lessons in humanity and connection. Through his work, he reminded us of the power of empathy, the importance of understanding, and the beauty of shared stories. From Hollywood to his home in Canada, people remember his quiet strength and humility. He never sought the spotlight for its own sake, but his talent and kindness drew admiration from all corners of the world. He made us laugh in Maverick, showing his remarkable range and sense of humor, bringing joy to audiences everywhere. And he moved us in Dances with Wolves, often saying more with a glance than words. His subtlety and depth left a lasting impression, making every moment on screen unforgettable. His legacy lives in the conversations he started, in the questions he raised about representation, identity, and the stories we choose to tell, and the perspectives he changed. Greene's influence can be seen in the growing diversity of today's film and television, and in the hearts of those he inspired to follow in his footsteps. Greene gave a face and heart to characters too often relegated to the background. He made sure their stories were told with honesty, compassion, and respect. Though his light has dimmed, his legacy will shine for generations. Graham Greene's spirit lives on in every story he touched, every barrier he broke, and every life he inspired. We will never forget the light he brought to our world. Every great story has a beginning, a moment when the first seeds are planted and the roots of a future are quietly taking hold. Sometimes these beginnings are humble, almost invisible to the world, but they are always powerful in shaping what is to come. For Graham Greene, that beginning was on the Six Nations Reserve in Oswek in Canada, a place rich with tradition, history, and the enduring spirit of its people. The land itself seemed to whisper stories, and every corner held echoes of generations past. Growing up as a proud member of the Oneida Nation, Graham was immersed in a world where storytelling was more than entertainment. It was a way of life. Around fires and kitchen tables, elders shared tales that carried wisdom, humor, and the lessons of survival. These stories became the foundation of his identity, instilling in him a deep sense of belonging and purpose. He carried the spirit of his people with him, both on and off the screen, honoring their legacy in every role he played. Whether dressed in traditional attire or standing before a camera, Graham's pride in his heritage shone through, connecting him to his roots no matter where his journey led. Greene's early life was not privileged. He worked as a welder, steelworker, and sound technician before acting. These jobs were demanding, often leaving him exhausted at the end of the day, but they taught him the value of perseverance and the dignity of honest labor. These experiences grounded his performances in real human experience. He understood the struggles of ordinary people, and that understanding gave his characters a rare authenticity and emotional depth that audiences could feel. He knew what it meant to work hard and face adversity, to keep moving forward even when the odds seemed insurmountable. That resilience became a hallmark of his life and his art. The spark of creativity grew in him during these formative years. Even as he labored, he dreamed, scribbling ideas in notebooks, imagining new worlds, and quietly nurturing the hope that one day he could share his own stories with the world. Acting wasn't an obvious path. It was a journey of self-discovery and courage. Taking that first step onto the stage required him to face his fears and embrace the unknown, trusting that his voice and his story mattered. That first step onto the stage changed his life, and cinema, forever. It was the moment when possibility became reality, and a new chapter began not just for Graham, but for Indigenous representation in film. Greene's journey teaches us that beginnings don't define our destination. The road may twist and turn, but it is the courage to walk it that shapes who we become. Our roots give us strength, and our struggles shape us. Like a tree weathering the storm, we grow stronger with every challenge we face. Graham Greene's story reminds us that greatness can come from anywhere, and that the seeds of a storyteller once planted can blossom into something extraordinary, touching hearts and inspiring generations to come. Before Hollywood, Graham Greene found his voice in theater. In the 1970s, he stepped onto the stage in Toronto and England, honing his craft. Theater demanded honesty and presence, and Greene learned to command attention with quiet intensity. He performed in classic and contemporary plays, pushing his own boundaries. The stage taught him discipline and the art of inhabiting a character. His transition to screen began in the late 1970s, with early roles in The Great Detective and Running Brave. Even then, his authenticity set him apart. Years of dedication and passion led to the breakout role that would change his life. In 1990, Graham Greene became unforgettable as Kickingbird in Dances with Wolves. This role defined his career and brought him international acclaim. Greene's Kickingbird was wise, gentle, and deeply human, a far cry from Hollywood stereotypes. He brought humor, warmth, and complexity to the character, making him relatable worldwide. The film's success was immense, and Greene's performance was a highlight. He earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, a historic moment for Indigenous actors. Though he didn't win, the nomination was a victory for representation. Kickingbird became a touchstone for authentic Indigenous storytelling. Greene's performance educated, enlightened, and changed hearts. It remains one of the most iconic in modern film history. After Dances with Wolves, Greene became one of Hollywood's most sought-after character actors. He moved seamlessly between genres, from comedy in Maverick to drama in The Green Mile. Greene brought depth to every role, whether as a police officer in Die Hard with a Vengeance or a spiritual guide in Northern Exposure. His television work, including The Red Green Show and Longmire, made him a household name. In later years, he mentored a new wave of Indigenous talent in shows like Reservation Dogs and Echo. Greene's career was a marathon of memorable performances. He nurtured the future of storytelling while continuing to shine himself. His versatility and commitment left an indelible mark on film and TV. Graham Greene's artistry was recognized with numerous awards and honors. His 1991 Oscar nomination for Dances with Wolves broke barriers for Indigenous performers. Greene also won a Grammy for Best Spoken Word Album for Children, showcasing his storytelling gift. He received Canada's Gemini Award and a Canadian Screen Award for Lifetime Achievement. In 2021, he was honored with a star on Canada's Walk of Fame. These accolades reflect his excellence, perseverance, and impact. Each award tells a piece of his journey from humble beginnings to celebrated actor. Greene's legacy is etched in both our hearts and the halls of honor. His dedication inspired peers and audiences alike. His story is one of rising to greatness through talent and resilience. Graham Greene's career was about more than acting. It was about changing the narrative. He understood that every role he took on had the potential to shape how Indigenous peoples were seen, both on screen and in society. Greene's presence in the film industry was a statement. Indigenous voices matter, and their stories deserve to be told with respect and truth. For decades, Indigenous peoples were invisible or misrepresented in media. Hollywood often relied on harmful stereotypes, reducing complex cultures to caricatures or erasing them altogether. These portrayals shaped public perception, making it difficult for Indigenous communities to see themselves reflected with dignity or accuracy. Greene's roles, especially as Kickingbird, challenged stereotypes and brought dignity to the screen. He portrayed his characters with depth, intelligence, and emotion, offering audiences a new perspective on Indigenous life and history. His performances invited viewers to look beyond the surface and recognize the humanity within each character. He infused his characters with humanity and authenticity, forcing audiences to reconsider their views. Greene's work made people question the stories they'd been told and the biases they might hold. His emotional performances resonated deeply, creating empathy and understanding where there had once been distance. Greene refused one-dimensional roles, choosing complexity and depth. He was selective, turning down parts that perpetuated stereotypes or failed to honor Indigenous experiences. This commitment to integrity set a new standard for representation in the industry. He showed that Indigenous people are diverse individuals with their own stories. Greene's work highlighted the richness and variety within Indigenous cultures, reminding audiences that no single narrative could define an entire people. His success opened doors for a new generation of Indigenous artists. Greene's achievements inspired young actors, writers, and directors to pursue their dreams, knowing that authentic representation was possible and valued. Greene became a role model and mentor, inspiring others to pursue their dreams. He offered guidance and encouragement, helping emerging talent navigate the challenges of the industry and find their own voices. He didn't just open the door, he held it open for those who followed. Greene's generosity and leadership created opportunities for others, ensuring that the path he forged would remain open for future generations. Today's rise of Indigenous-led shows owes much to his trailblazing. The growing presence of Indigenous creators in film and television is a testament to Greene's influence and the barriers he helped break down. Greene's presence bridged pioneers and the new wave of storytellers. He connected generations, honoring those who came before while empowering those who would shape the future of Indigenous storytelling. His legacy is a cultural shift toward authentic representation. Thanks to Graham Greene, Indigenous stories are now told with pride, complexity, and truth, inspiring audiences and creators alike to imagine a more inclusive world. Beyond his roles, Graham Greene was a man of quiet conviction and insight. He carried himself with humility, rarely seeking the spotlight off-screen. Greene spoke about the importance of authenticity in storytelling. He chose roles that honored Indigenous cultures and turned down those that didn't. His artistic integrity earned deep respect from peers and community. Greene became a cultural guardian and mentor to young Indigenous actors. He shared his knowledge, inspiring others to tell their own stories. On set, he was a calming, inspiring force, leading by example. Greene balanced humor and seriousness, reflecting the full spectrum of life. He taught that powerful stories come from truth and vulnerability. His voice, both on and off screen, will be deeply missed. Greene's influence endures in the artists he inspired. As we say goodbye to Graham Greene, we celebrate a legacy that is rich and everlasting. He changed the face of cinema and inspired a generation. Greene's work will continue to be discovered by new audiences. His legacy lives in the actors and filmmakers he inspired and the stories now being told. He proved that great performances can change the world. Greene is survived by his wife, Hilary Blackmore, and daughter, Lily Lazar Greene. His warmth and spirit were the essence of the man he was. Greene's story continues in every film, every lesson, and every movement for authentic storytelling. He left the world a better, more understanding place. Thank you, Graham. Your performance was magnificent.